Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Blessed love family. Blessed love family. Operated in 2 times now. Yes, here we are. We did it. I have my celebratory glass of wine because I think that we've got a lot to celebrate about my sisters and my brothers. I'm still just totally overwhelmed by Saturday. I'm totally overwhelmed and I just want us to kind of gather and just debrief and feedback a little bit, you know. Yeah, that's what I want us to do. I'm just going to add our moderator. I'm not expecting a lot of trolls tonight, to be fair. Yeah, I'm not really. If the, what can anybody say after Saturday? There was just such a humbling and a humility that took place that even the most hardened soul should be able to humble themselves, surely. Where are you all about the black? Let me get you in. Hold on just 1 second. Sometimes the mouse thingy on this thing is a little bit much. Actually, I don't think I need to add you all about the black. I think you can do it automatically now, can't you? Yeah. You're good. I don't think we need to do it each time now, which is fantastic. So yes, community, powerful sisters took back their power on Saturday. It was the most monumental and historical event. You know, for those of you that were watching via stream, you should have made the extra effort to come out and support the masses because, boy, the atmosphere, the charge that was in the atmosphere, all those prayers and the chanting and the way that the ancestors were called in to protect and to guide us and to inject the atmosphere with just absolute jubilation. It really was. There wasn't a spirit of fear. I prayed for the spirit of fear to be removed from people because I could see that in the lead up to the march, a lot of people were getting, nervous because there was a lot of talk. If we look at all of the kind of trolling that took place and led up to, in the lead up to the march 2, 3, 4 weeks ago, yeah, it really wasn't on. People, to me, that's just the devil. That is the enemy trying to beat down and prevent us from what was actually taking place on Saturday. What did take place? Like, we didn't know what was taking place at the time, but we can see it now. We can see why there was so many elements, trying to stop that from taking place because it needed to take place. It broke a yoke in that community. There was lots of women that were headed for the march that was telling me about their personal challenges and the way that people were discouraging them in the lead up, what not wanting them to go, all of that stuff. And then ultimately, on the day, the devil tries one last attempt and obviously got up underneath Vincent Rat's skin and drove him, because I can't think of what else could have driven him but the devil himself. How could this man have the audacity, the lack of shame to turn up and do what he did, try to disrupt the proceedings, try to intimidate people? It was clear that's what he was there to do, but it was a very weak effort. When I hear, even before I arrived and I heard the sisters saw the brother off, with mobile phones in his face and chants of pedo. Proud that every woman was able to take that back. It might not have been their perpetrator, and for some of them he is, yeah, but he's become the pin-up boy, if you like, of all those perps and those nasty men out there. He wanted to be prominent. Well, now he is, and we know him for what he is. But you know what? I'm going to put some footage of that up. It was really a very powerful moment when that individual tried to intimidate everybody, and en masse everyone seemed to turn around at the same time and just make him know what time it was, and that was that his time is up. When I was watching back the rushes and stuff, You know, that it was that and so many different points, you know, Heaven and Tamar, the stories of the sisters, everybody's testimony, all of it, even right up until young sister Ruth at the end, you know, it was absolutely fantastic. And I want to give a big shout out to, you know, our security boys on the day, our close protection security. They were on point. You know, they did not miss a trick. And they were absolutely on point. I want to big you up, Mega, for you know, that organization there in terms of the security detail. Fantastic. We did have other contributions as well. So shout out to Billy, and also shout out to the two sisters who I'm not necessarily going to say their name, who also sent security detail down to the ends, you know. But the CP, I have to shout them out. Absolutely second to none. Second to none. And we will be using them again next year, in next year's March. They were actually really inspired themselves. You know, on the way back, they were kind of talking about the issue and how it is that we stood up to this guy. Very, very inspired themselves. So it was just such a magical day, my brothers and sisters. But what I really wanted to do, rather than me bang on, was to invite you guys to talk about your experiences. I just want to hear some feedback, man, about, you know, how it was, how people felt. Did we achieve what we set out to achieve? I'm going to put the link in the chat for anybody that wants to come on. On StreamYard, you can have like up to a certain amount of people on the screen. I think it's a lot more than Instagram. But yeah, I mean, look, I'm suitably knackered. I'm not going to do a long one today. But I do want to hear from you guys. I want to hear from the community, man. Jump on. Tell me what you felt. Tell me what it was like. Tell me what it was like taking back your power. Because that's been the point of this. You know, we are going to be, listen, this is just the beginning. We're going to be working behind the scenes even harder now. As I said, I'm not going to depart without leaving a strong foundation in place to make sure that things run the way they ought to run, especially in terms of increased care for people that are suffering these things in our community. This is what we want to do. This is what we will be doing. And I've come here to mash a few works, personal and campaign wise. So that's what I'm here to do. That's what I've been doing. I'm going to be doing. And I'll just say that we need to trust each other. We need to, you know, we prove that we can trust each other. There's somebody that said to me today, a man rang me up, and, you know, he said that you instilled the strength back into the sisters. I said, no, the sisters did that for themselves, man. They believed, they followed the journey, they believed in themselves, they spoke their truth. Yeah. And no one can take that away from you guys, man. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And yeah, like we surprised the trolls, didn't we? We surprised them. I thought they might be here tonight to have their say, you know. There was a few on the page though that I had to give you respect and props. I can't remember the names exactly. I should have taken them down. But I did have a look just before now. And there's a couple of people that said, look, I was one of the doubters and, you know, now I'm not, and that kind of thing. So, you know, I like that kind of honesty. Just, yeah, hold your hands up, and people that are open enough to have their opinions changed. You know, you didn't have to change it. That's fine. That's your prerogative. But the fact that you were able to do that, I have a lot of respect for people that have that mechanism, because so many people don't. You know, even with all that they've seen, they will still find something to troll about and something to oppose. So we expect them. And today is not their hour. You know, it's not their hour. Come on and talk to me, guys. Otherwise, this is going to be a really short live. Very short live. Yes. Principal sister. Principal sister on the day. Yes, my sister. LB. Yes, sissy. You know, you don't know. I'm not even going to say anything. I'm going to let you speak.
Lioness! What? Done the dance out there. I truly, I thought I literally can't even articulate what I am feeling in this very moment. This wasn't about killing anybody or dragging anyone. It wasn't about that. It was so powerful on Saturday. Incredible. And all this was our harnessing our power. Why is there feedback? It's like there's a delay.
There is a slight delay.
Okay, I'm going to say what I'm saying slowly. I mean, there's not a lot to say after what happened the other day. Your entrance. Afwa, I'm going to burst out crying. All I can say is every woman that was there, they cried. It was all about, I don't even know what to say. It was just so incredible. You know? Thank you. Thank you so much.
You know, it was really important for me to, it was very, very important for me to make women understand that there is nothing to fear. You know, all the stories, don't go there, it's a suicide march, all of that stuff. You know, we proved it's wrong. Don't ever, ever boost that fear, because that's what keeps people like him alive. That's what keeps his notoriety alive and keeps his power base going, is the fear. And we proved that if you don't fear, they have nothing. And that's such a crucial message to every victim, every survivor. If you have fear, they have nothing. If you don't have fear, they have nothing, you know?
And that's the start and finish. It, for me, what was important was that people were not coward. They were not afraid. They were not forced to stay away. You know, the people who were there were meant to be there. That was the divine order. We felt the energy harnessed in that space, clean. And all we're saying is no more, just no more. Why are black men not protecting us? I was surprised at the lack of black men out there, but it was about quality, and we had quality men. I even saw a man break down out there, just thinking about the possibility of his daughter being a victim. I mean, that's a real man. Where are our brothers? Where are they? Where? Why are they fearful?
You know, my sister, you know what? I had a kind of disappointment in me at the time. But when I really think about it, you know, there was good reason for brothers to be scared of that man back in the day. And it just bears testament to the deep rooted fear and trauma that man caused in the community, and how much it prevails to this day. You know,
Absolutely.
the level of fear, it's still so raw for a lot of people. But I think, well, you know, for the survivors, you know, we get to a point where there is no more fear. So in a way, maybe it took for us as sisters to lead it out and to break that fear and show the brothers that, look, you lot should stop fearing this man. Come out. You know, you're not little boys anymore. You're not young men anymore. You're big men. And he's nothing but a little old man. You know? So it was important for that to happen. It happened the way it happened. It did.
If you don't stand for something, you will fall for everything. And
everything.
And it wasn't about notoriety or celebrity. This is not what this is about. Like Heaven said on stage when she was doing the de-trauma dance, she said, this is not a competition, it's not a dance competition. This is about being authentic. The authenticity was real. You know, we weren't there to remonstrate with anyone or trouble anyone. Why would somebody who knows themselves come? Why would you do that? The intention was
you know what? It was the ultimate narcissistic action.
That was
it really was. It was the ultimate narcissistic action. He needed to have that final piece of control. That's the reason he turned up. In my mind,
that was raised to the ground straight away.
Sorry, I'm going to bring on another sister, LB. 1 second. Don't go nowhere. Oh, they came out. I don't know what happened there. Yeah, man, that was the ultimate final act of power. This is what those kinds of personalities and pathologies do, you know? This is what they do. He couldn't help himself. He's such a narcissist. He's the ultimate narcissist.
I was like,
Stay in your yard.
why is this man talking to me?
He was
I don't
sending a
know you. I've
message.
never spoken your name out my mouth on a live. I don't know. I don't know. Please
As I
don't.
said, my daddy always used to say, "A dying man clutches at straws." And big up Chris from UK tuned in, Stroke Forever Family, one of the few brothers from Forever Family that came out, and he was on him. You were telling me, right? Yeah, you didn't
Straight.
even know who he was.
Straight. Everywhere I went, Chris was there. I said, like, why are you following me? He said, I'm in security. I was like, oh, right. So I'm walking around with my bag. He's like, you know me. I'm like, he said, I'm not leaving you anyway. If I went there, he was there. Thank you so much for setting that up. I just felt so protected on the day. It was lovely, lovely, lovely. And to know that I was there to share my truth, to help empower other people, and to just be there to see your entry. I want to talk about your entry, how you entered that place. I think it was like the heavens breaking and the female Messiah, if you like. And I don't mean that in that way. I mean it was somebody so important. It was a figurehead. It was the one that broke the yoke, that exploded this head. I remember seeing you the first time last year, thinking about this when you initially broke this. And I remember my mouth was, I was a bog like. And to see you in person was just incredible. Thank you for the work. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And this is, I mean, I've even written a bit more of my complaints, you know, that triggering thing that I'm writing. It's given me the wherewithal to write it. And I know in future there are sanguine times to experience because I will never shut my mouth until this is done. That's what the word love seems thin to say to you in this situation. There is no words to explain. There are no words to explain how the sisters feel. Not just me. I was out today and somebody told me, I didn't know who she was. She said, I saw you on Saturday. I saw you, could you tell Afua? And you guys truly broke it. She said she cried when he came out. She cried. I just couldn't stop. You know, this is incredible because what you're doing is showing our community no means no. We have a right to be respected. We have a right to be heard. And moreover, we have a right to be protected. Protect us. You know, we do enough to bring up the children on our own. We don't need anybody berating and discrediting and gaslighting us. That's not what this is about. This is about finding an even balance and respect for our human kindness. It's just,
Yep.
it's unjust to treat black women the way they've been treated for years. Not only that, but Pat said, and he made a really important point. He said, whilst you guys were coming down, because remember I stayed with the sound system, mainly because I wanted to stay with our belongings until we sure that those were okay. But Pat came on stage and she said, not only were black women inspired, but what we did must have inspired other women from other races. And this is it's not we're a segregated community. We're trying to deal with our own. It's a Pan-African outlook. It's a Marcus Garvey. Is a Garvey outlook. We've got to protect for ourselves. Nobody's not doing it for us.
Exactly.
Nobody was out there doing anything. I reported the rape by Eamon Edwards 20 years ago. You know, people coming up on the live talking about it's a lie or trying to deflect and distract. I just leave them alone. I haven't got energy to speak to Duffy. When I'm speaking, I'm here. You can see me, see my name. Them trolls don't have any face. Gossip don't have any face. I don't have time for you. You don't scare me.
Well, they're very, very quiet tonight, sister. Very, very quiet tonight.
I mean, there was one, that melanin one that claimed that they even had a job.
Very, very interesting.
That melanin one.
Because, you know, look, at the end of the day, when truth comes and the power of that truth comes, there's no denying it.
I don't even want to give them airtime because, you know, it's just so clean what we're doing here. So I don't even want to call them names nasty up the vibe. But I send them love because I see their suffering. It's like there must be, because why would you come on, speak to somebody you don't know, hiding behind, you got a lot of words. Mind you, they can slow, so I'll give them the grammar part there. So, you know, but apart from that, you can't go up and talk to people you don't know and based on flawed evidence. It's not even evidence. There is no evidence. It's just hearsay and gossip. Let's just keep doing this. I'm looking forward to next year, and it's bigger, it's better, and I'm sure it's infectious. It's going to affect other places in England. Thank you, Afua. Thank you.
Well,
deserve
you mentioned that. Thank you, sis. You mentioned that, but that's exactly what I want to do going forward. You know, there's so many more. My inbox is full right now with different names,
I
so
can
there's still more
imagine.
call outs to do on Fridays. That's what we're going to
Yeah,
be doing. You know,
yeah,
that momentum has to keep going, and people have to keep talking. But at the
absolutely.
same time as well, we need a mechanism within our community where young girls and young boys can go and speak to somebody and
Yeah,
tell
and,
them
and
what's happening in their
yeah,
lives
the
if they're being
emphasis,
sexually abused. We need our own child line, is what we
right,
need.
and it's important that
So
emphasis is. I know,
we're
we're
looking
dealing
to
with
move
the
forward
women
with that.
here, but the emphasis also must happen in terms of the guys because on Saturday, a man came up to me and he was just talking to me, and I was thinking, where is this conversation going? You know, I was lit, you know, feeling effervescent, happy, and all of that, and strong, powerful. And this man started to speak to me, and I didn't know what. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Right, right. And this a brother came up. He wasn't a. It was a guy that came up to me, and he was just speaking. And he was on this story, and I was thinking, I wonder where this story is going. And I felt a little bit of disgruntled inside of me, and I thought, no, let me hear this man out. He's going to say something. And I'm listening, and he explained that he was sexually abused on a school bus when he was young, and that today and me, the first time he ever divulged that, and the feeling I felt, I mean, to do that, the courage to speak to somebody as a man who was assaulted by another man, the magnitude of that cannot be underestimated. That was so deep, followed by somebody coming over to tell me something else about somebody else who you've already touched on. And I thought, have you told Apple? She said, no, yeah, I've told Apple, yes, but I've also made a complaint to the police. I'm not going to say who the individual is, but their time is so up. Their time is so up. And I thank you, darling. I love you. All of my bum is bigger than my heart. So that's for you. That's for you. You are
You know
already
what,
aware.
sis?
Are you bringing somebody else
Everybody
on?
should be bigging themselves up as well, because we all did it with each other. Everybody who played a part, including the people that turned up, everybody, that it could not have been it. Even you, before your warm up, your truth, your grittiness, which has always been what this campaign has been about. It's been always from the hip. Do you know what I mean? It's always been about talking the truth.
But we went there with chest. There's the chest. We went there like we ain't taking no more. And that was beautiful, Af. It was absolutely. And that's why my darling Dawn gave you that bunch of flowers, because she said, you know, she said to me, she had to give you that bunch of, we went to primary school together, decent people, you know? She said she had to give you them because nobody else, and it wasn't that she was shading anyone. She said she just wanted to show you something because we wanted to show our gratitude, our love, and our appreciation for where you've taken us from where it started. And there were many people, down to myself, that even doubted you. And I've got people in LB, and I was like, no, I can't believe this woman is going to do this. Double D.
Hi.
I did it. How you
Hey,
doing?
I'm listening. I'm at work, so I just wanted to big up everybody on the live. Love you, LB. Love you, Afua. Nice meeting you guys on Saturday.
Thank you so much.
Love you, bro.
And the fight goes on.
You know, and I was very careful when I snuck up behind you in case you later charged me with putting my hand down your body. So I was very careful. But thank you.
You can creep up behind me anytime, LB. You know.
Oh, don't you worry now. I'm on it now.
Yeah.
Thank you. Listen, Aqua, you're aware of what my situation is for tomorrow, and I'm just going to read now. So I'm going to jump off and do what I'm going to do and get back to you tomorrow. Is that okay, Double D?
All right, my love. No
Yeah, yeah.
worries.
You see
I'm
that?
at work,
Well
so
done,
I
LB.
just wanted to big up everybody.
Where we at?
I'm jumping off as well.
All right, Double
Big up.
D. Big up
Yeah, I just
yourself,
wanted
yeah?
to big up everybody. So I'm at work still, so we'll catch up.
All right,
All
you
right.
take care. All right, blessed love. There's somebody trying to join, but you've got to connect your mic and your camera before I can add you to the studio. G, it says that you're not connected. Connect your devices and then we can talk. Whoever D is, if you can reconnect with your mic and your webcam, please. Right, yeah. So anyone else want to come on and express themselves? You can keep your camera off if you want. I'm going to put the link back in again. You know, I've got no words really. I'm just completely overwhelmed with the turnout and the bravery of the sisters, man. I'm completely overwhelmed. One of the things that really hit me the most was the fact that very few people were wearing masks. Very few. And who were wearing masks, it was usually because of their job or something like that. It wasn't the fact that they were scared or didn't want to be seen, you know? The original idea of people wearing masks was so that we could protect those that didn't want to be seen, where we would all look the same, and nobody, you know, very few people, as I said, had on masks, and that really warmed my heart. You know, that was one of the standout moments for me, I think, in doing it. And also, you know, I wasn't able to clock people when I did enter. I wanted to kind of feel that energy and, you know, the reassurance that people felt when I did come. You know, I would have liked to have just said I'm coming, but you know, as a security concern, we thought that, you know, security did not think that was a good idea, and I guess in the end it would have not been, because he turned up, and I'm sure he would have turned up a lot more prepared, and people like him, if they knew that I was coming. So it was yeah, man, it was horrible to have to lie to you lot, but I didn't see it as a lie. I saw it as a diversion. And I don't know, some people said they guessed, some people didn't. It was nice. I like surprises, to be fair. I like a bit of cat and mouse. So yeah, that did sweet me. The fact that he would not have been expecting that, you know. And I did want him to see red in that way, you know, which he did, didn't he? It was absolutely phenomenal. It was a phenomenal, spiritually charged experience, my brothers and sisters. And we are going to be moving forward. Like I said, we need to leave it in place, a legacy and an infrastructure, and we need to do this again next year. That needs to happen, because this issue is not going to go away with one march or a couple of Instagram posts or YouTube or whatever. It's not going to go away. We need to really set a foundation and change a narrative for the future generations. You know, don't let our grandkids come up and believe that it's the norm to treat girls in this fashion. Yeah, don't let them think that. Or even for the girls to come up and feel that they're able to treat men in a certain particular kind of way because they're damaged and whatever. Let that damage don't even exist. Let it not even exist. You know, that's our mission. That's the legacy that we want as mothers and grandmothers to leave for our children, particularly our daughters, in these situations. And our sons who, you know, don't often speak out as to what's happened to them. Our husbands and partners who don't speak out as to what's happened to them, that maybe could explain some of their shortcomings. You know, I do want to say, you know, I want to send out some empathy really to the families and the loved ones and the children of these perpetrators that have been caught up in the crosshairs. I do want to say that. You know, it's not my intention to rip your family apart or to leave you hurt in any kind of way. You know, maybe there's hurt that you're experiencing that we will never know. But, and I do have to say, but, you know, there is a real responsibility on our community for everybody, not just me, to speak up for the victims of those perpetrators. And unfortunately, if that's your father or your uncle or your husband or whoever, you know, I cannot help that. And I can't be held responsible for how you feel in light of your loved one's actions. You know, that's not my position in here. My position in this space is to speak up for the victims of those individuals, and therefore my focus has to rely on them. It's not that I'm cold-hearted and I don't care about the families, and I don't care about the impact, but how can that be superseded over the impact and the lifetime of absolute degradation that a lot of these women have experienced? You know, the lifetime, the life sentence that victims experience, that can't be held as a secondary consideration to what the families feel. It just, you know, it just doesn't make sense. Blessed love, Brother Monty. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm very well, thank you. I mean, I was there on Saturday.
Oh, lovely.
With a crew doing the security within the crowd.
Oh, thank you.
But there's two things that I wanted to. I wasn't going to speak because I was there as working, but this is a bigger problem than you think. Than we all think that's been raised here, because this incestuous behavior by a lot of our men has been going on for years and years, for centuries. And it's only now, it's just like coming to the surface for people to start realizing, or having a voice to view in social media, bringing it to the fold. I mean, I've witnessed that incestuous behavior with close friends as well, where fathers have been sexing their daughters and giving them children, and those children growing up dysfunctioned. And the wives of those have been keeping it secret. So this behavior, although it's perpetrated by a lot of men, there's also the backup of the women who are hiding it as well, with
enablers.
Like shame, with shame of their husbands, or not wanting to bring that to fold, or to bring it to the fold. It's been an incestuous behavior in Africa, in the West Indies for generations.
Absolutely.
For generations. You know, pedophilia in the black community has been incestuous. Pedophilia in the white community has been out of the home. You know, they've been doing things to strangers, the white ones. The black ones have been bringing it into their homes.
Absolutely. I'm going to turn off my camera for a minute and just let you guys rap. I just need to take care of something. So, hey, Sister Asha.
Yeah.
How you doing, sis? Absolutely. I'm going to turn off my camera for a minute and just let you guys rap. I just need to take care of something. So, hey, Sister Asha. Keep talking, guys. It's important.
Yeah. Said there should have been some psychologists and psychiatrists there on Saturday to put a perspective on the damage that's been caused in terms of the issue that's been raised. So, because there's a lot of people that were there who probably have experienced it or have a secondary experience of it, that, you know, were not able to hear that voice. That's the only thing that I think was missing on the Saturday, because there was a lot of angry people there. And it was a crying shame that idiot man actually turned up. I don't know why he actually turned up, or what purpose he thinks he's going to serve by turning up. You know.
That was just a sense of empowering himself, in the sense that he was. Is that am I echoing?
A little bit.
I'm not sure what's going on, but I just thought that was his last point of crying out to say he was a big man, because I got there around 11 o'clock and he was just trumping around, and it was senseless, really, because everyone knows of him, but for me, I had no fear. I was there for the women.
I don't, for me to advance this forward, it has to go to Parliament. It cannot just be protesting and demonstrating, raking up little dust and so forth. Because in terms of politics, there's protesting, and there's the other way. We have to lobby. We have to lobby our councillors. We have to lobby our local authorities. We have to lobby the police, because somebody
and
can't do all that.
That's precisely what we intend to do, my brother. So that's precisely what we're doing going forward. Is that we have to structure, and we have to lobby, and we have to bring an independent inquiry into these proceedings. It has to go to the judiciary. There's no other way forward, really, in terms of getting the answers that we need.
Because Lambeth Council is culpable for a lot of the misbehavior. Protesting is not going to do it. They don't
Yeah,
only
I mean,
need
it
to
will raise
protest
the
it.
issue. And
It's
if there's
that's
enough
it.
numbers, it will definitely raise the issue. But at the end of the day, it's not going to make the changes as such.
No.
There's another process after that needs to take place.
So what needs to happen is that we need, if social media plays a big part, we need to send out letters to everybody listening on social media to write to the local MP to raise the issue with the local MP. We need to raise the issue with all our councillors to bring that to the fold, because they're not going to take notice of
particularly Lambeth residents.
Yes, particularly Lambeth residents.
Issue.
Particularly Lambeth residents. They need to be writing to their MPs all the time, to the local councillors all the time, to make sure that their voice is heard in that way. Because the British government only takes note of pen and paper. Because once it's been written and is there as evidence, they can't backtrack on it. So that's what we need to be doing, and to be sending it in masses. In masses, if thousands and thousands of letters get sent to them, they can't ignore it.
Yeah, I mean, we can start a petition. Actually, that's something I think that would be quite beneficial moving forward.
When I looked at that issue, as important as it is, when ITV, BBC, Channel 4, and Sky don't come in and cover it, right? It shows that they're not interested in black issues. So we need to put that on the table for them to be interested in it, because this is bigger than just a little. This is bigger as an issue, more than that one case. There are cases up and down the country of similar sorts that are going.
We're going to be moving into different areas as well, my brother, most definitely. Yeah. But listen, I'm going to bring on another sister now. Thank you, Brother Monty, for your comments.
Take care.
And thank you for your attendance as well. We need your male presence. So I'm really happy that you're one of the brothers that stood up and was counted. Thank you, brother.
Problem. Take care. Bye-bye.
Take care. Sister Asha, I didn't get to speak to you. I think you're muted, sis. I think you're actually muted. Asha, you're muted, sister. You have to unmute yourself. Yeah, there you go.
Oh God, I'm just old. I'm just glad I came with my little drum and made as much noise as possible.
Oh, were you one of the drummers? Thank you so much.
Yeah, I was the one there from the morning. Nice. But I was just glad that I came. I came around 11 o'clock, and I just. I'm just happy that I stood for my sisters, and it's just I'm just so proud of everybody who turned up. Everyone who came.
I lost a sister. Sorry, there was a sister. Come back in, sis. You can jump back in.
I'll let other people speak. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sis.
No, thank you. I cried like a baby. I'm over the moon now, but when I turned around and I saw the smoke and then you appeared, you don't know that empowerment that you gave us all. Thank you.
Blessed love, man. Thank you. All right, sis. Bless up. Yeah, man. These are the things that make it worth it. Worth it. Sister Naomi, come back in. I don't know what happened to you there. I was about to talk to you. Yeah, hearing those testimonies, and I did speak to a lot of people on the day, or I didn't speak to as many people as I'd like to. And, you know, there were some people that were waiting to speak that didn't have a chance to, you know. So I apologize for that, but security was tight and I couldn't remember everybody in terms of facials. So not everybody got through the lines. Blessed love, my sister. How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm new to this, so I can hear you at the background as well on the YouTube.
Oh, right,
I
okay.
inboxed you. I did attend, and it was great. I came late, so I didn't see your entry. So I only saw you when I was walking on Brixton Road, and I was just like, I was so amazed. I have been through sexual abuse myself. I messaged you yesterday, so I'm not ready to speak, but I will come another time to speak. Yeah, because I want it to be in full, and I don't want to miss out anything. I wasn't around that time. I'm only 33, so I wasn't around, you know, back in the days. But similar things did happen to me when I was 14, and for a long time, I thought I was alone, because many of people my age didn't actually go through a lot of what has been happening. So I attended on Saturday, and it was brilliant. I was emotional because at the same time, we shouldn't have to do this. We shouldn't have to do this. We shouldn't have to, but we are doing it. And I've got children myself, so I've got 2 daughters and a son as well. And I don't want none of them to go through any of this, and any other child to go through anything that I've been through. So yeah,
Big up
it was
yourself,
good.
my sister.
I wish we had another one next week. Yeah.
There's someone was suggesting, a couple of people suggested that we should have it 6 monthly, but I tell you what I think we need to do. You know, like I said, there's continuously names coming out in South London, all over the country, to be fair. But I am going to kind of move a little bit of the focus off of South and start to look at other areas. There's so many in Northwest London, North London, East London, Manchester, Birmingham, you know, there's so many. So we're going to concentrate, and it may well be that we bring, you know, that London energy to other cities, but we'll see. We'll see. I don't know if I'll be at all of them. As I say, I don't really want to stay here. I left before all of this began. So and I've put down roots. So we'll see. But as I say, I'm here for an undisclosed length of time, so that we can get some things in place before I go again.
I've sent you my number anyway.
Thank you, Instagram. I think I've seen your message today. Actually, I haven't been through all of them. I apologize to anyone that I haven't got back to as yet. But I'm just kind of going through them at the moment and putting them in different categories, so I can start doing some call arounds and stuff, and some
that's fine.
Replies.
And in regards to the person turning up, I wasn't there. I've seen it on video, but that just proves that he's not innocent to me. That just proves he knows he's not innocent. That's all I've got to say. He knows he's not innocent. If he was innocent, he wouldn't have turned up. So it just proves that he's innocent. But I like the way, I wasn't there, but I like the way everybody turned around and said his time's up. That was just a legendary moment.
That was the legendary moment. It really was.
Okay.
Because, you know, with paedophiles and perpetrators, you know, they have a thing about control and power, and if they can't have that, that is actually the biggest harm that you can do to them, is to take their power. And we did that. We did that. We did that.
It happened for a reason, him turning up, and
I thought he was insane. I was like, my God. Not insane, arrogant, actually. Arrogant. But I'm glad he did now, because he needed to witness that. And there were quite a few of his victims in that crowd.
I spoke to one myself.
Exactly. So the fact that they were there unmasked, willing to front him like that is that was the whole point of this campaign, is to take their power and reclaim the power that was lost and taken. So I think that was achieved. I think that was
it definitely
achieved.
was. It will definitely
And you know, it
was.
sent a message to all the other, you know, his cohort, his friends, his connections, or people like him, that actually we're not just going to sit here and hold your secrets anymore. You know, that was the biggest thing. But thank you so much, sis.
I was in bed, but I thought, oh, come on. I was struggling at first, but continue to do what you're doing. It's really good, and well done to you, and well done for being brave enough to come back to London. I did want to say hello, but your security guards, they're very, you know, got a bit scared.
They were seriously on point, weren't they?
Yeah, they were serious. They were really good. There was. But I'll speak to you soon.
Definitely. We'll definitely be hooking up again. Take care, sis.
Yeah.
Who we got here? Sister, brother T.
Hello.
Can't see you, but can I hear you?
Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, I can hear you. How you doing, sis?
Hiya.
Hi, sis.
I'm fine. I didn't come to the event because I wasn't actually aware of it.
Okay.
I've only found out about it today. But from what I'm seeing, it looks really good. So be proud of what you've done.
Thank you, my
I have been
sister.
following you for a little while, but it's been difficult for myself on a personal note because
I've lost you, sis. Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Oh yeah. You cut out there.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was saying that I've been following you, but sometimes it's like a bit too much because I've been a victim of sexual abuse, and I'm actually currently in a court case. So it's like a trigger, but you have given me strength from behind the closed doors.
Blessed love, sis. Blessed love. You know, as a survivor, there's so many things that can trigger us. I think somebody even alluded to it on Saturday. It could be a smell, it could be a sound, it could be just absolutely anything. But the strength is when you're able to work through those triggers and be able to recognize them and still come out strong, still come out motivated. That's the strength, you know?
Yeah, I did want to inbox you maybe through Instagram on a personal note so you could know my story and try and get some advice. So at the moment, I am struggling a lot due to the court case pending. I wanted to get some advice.
Drop your number definitely, sis, and I will definitely give you a call this week.
Okay. Cheers.
Right,
thank you. Bye.
Blessed love, my sister. Strong warrior sister. Hey.
Hey. How are
Face
you?
out.
You good? Face out today.
Yes, my sister. Blessed.
Anyway,
Do you know what?
I put my face
was
out.
the tears when you came up, my sis. I said, yeah, the journey that you've come on, and even today, like, that's it. Oh my God.
I know. Do you know what? When I got there and I took the mic after LB, and it was so emotional, and I just started crying, and I didn't even go there to take no mic and speak, you know. So I was quite surprised that I even done that.
You've done,
you know,
not
like,
even just done that, sis, but you just, the impact that you created as well. Your own power, man. You don't even realize your own power.
I know, but you know, like, when you're still angry from something, and I know it's not silly, but like, you know, obviously it was a long time ago, but you know, for the fact that I didn't get closure, like, for every day since that day till now, like, I'm like raring to go, like, do you get what I mean? Like, I'm still so mad. But do you know what? Your entrance was like, oh my goodness. Do you know, the only way that I could describe it was like, you know, when you're watching a boxing match and then you're waiting for the
like WWF
and then you're
or something.
and then you're waiting for the guy to come out, and then he's got like his people around him, and then he's like in the middle and he comes out like that. That was you. That was like excellent. That was brilliant. You know, that was so well.
They said they wanted a fight, my sister, so we were prepared for one, but they didn't come with it.
Well, no, that's what you got to do, isn't it? But no, like, props to you, because like, you're one in a million. And anyway, a couple of months ago, when I first came on your platform, and I went to Tesco's and I saw something, and I said that if I ever saw you, that I was going to give it to you. But I actually bought it for myself, but I thought I was going to give it to you. So it's Tesco's finest, yeah. But this is what you deserve.
Finest.
But this is what you deserve. The medal. So this is for you. I'd like to crown you.
Oh, bless you, sis. Bless you.
Yeah.
Is that chocolate?
But honestly, yeah, I think so.
Send that
Yeah.
through the post.
Yeah, but, yeah.
Is it chocolate?
Yeah. So I think so. I've never actually.
Medal. Wicked. Thank you, my sister.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Tesco's finest. It's good, isn't it?
It's very good.
So yeah, you honestly really do deserve this, and that's the truth. Because like, you've gone nowhere. You've gone where nobody else will go. And like, you know, you've stood up in front of everybody. Like, you stood up in front of my family, you've stood up in front of everybody's family, and sort of said like, I don't care. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's happened, she's hurt, and it's true. And you know, I think because I was like overwhelmed, I think it was because, you know, there were so many people like myself. And when you're fighting something and you think that you're on your own, like, the journey's just yours. But, you know, meeting so many different women and hearing different stories, like, you know, it's heart-wrenching. And I felt emotional all day, you know, like, for the reason why we was there. And it's sad, isn't it? It's really sad.
It's sad, but there's such a power in that emotion.
Yeah,
you know,
there is, definitely.
It's sad that we have to be doing it. It's sad that there's so many women, but at the same time, there's a power in that gathering. There's a power in coming together, isn't there? And sharing those stories and not feeling alone. You know, we can reclaim the little girl that didn't have that was alone. And I think that like everybody's little girl was reclaimed on Saturday.
Absolutely. I'll tell you what, I enjoyed myself. I felt like I went clubbing or something. Like,
the music was excellent. You know,
everything was on point, wasn't it? Yeah, they did. Everything was on point. Even the way how Ruth ended up being there. And trust me, Ruth gets around. Ruth gets around because,
and then, you know, it just was the cherry on the cake. Because we were actually looking for a singer, but I just wasn't able to get that part of it together in time.
Oh, and she just came just like that, didn't
anyway,
she?
so
yeah.
There it was.
I met her before. She's actually on my Facebook, and she really does put in the work. And it's good that she came and she was able to do that for 100%. Us. Like, everything just fell into place, didn't it?
It really did. It was like divine order. It really did. It just flowed. It just flowed. And that's why we know that the mission that we're on has to happen. There's no stopping it.
You know, really, the child line.
Was the beginning. It is the beginning.
Child line, I think that the black child line, I think that would be really good. And
yeah, just a culturally sensitive resource in our community where, you know, because traditionally we do not access services. Anyone who works,
we don't have anything.
You know, works in a certain sector, in the voluntary or statutory sectors. We know this. You know, we don't.
Yeah, we've never had anything.
We don't have any viable ones of our own.
Yeah, we've never had anything because.
No, I mean, we have some. There are some really good examples, like, for instance, Heaven and Tamar's organization. Fantastic.
Okay, yeah.
We all need to support that, you know, and there are some other really good examples, but we just don't have a big national organization for African Caribbean young people to access.
I think that would be really good. And like, there's a lot of kids that don't know how to speak, or maybe, you know, they don't know how to tell their family because for whatever reason. And, you know, like, as much as I might say that nobody didn't believe my story, like meaning my family, what I'm supposed to say is that they did believe it, but they didn't want to do anything about it. Do you get what I mean? So
exactly, which was the norm back then, wasn't it?
Yeah. So I think that's probably like, that hurts me more than, you know, when someone says, you know, shut up. We know that he's done it, but just shut up about it. Do you know what I mean?
It's that compliance.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
If they don't know, you know, you can't blame somebody for not knowing, but when they know and they allow that to happen, that to me is on par with the very act itself. It's the same thing.
Yeah, it's not on, because I've got 3 daughters myself, and like, do you know what? I just couldn't. It just couldn't happen. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's no way.
And that's why we know that the mindset, the generational curses are already breaking, because what used to happen with us could never happen with our daughters or our sons. Couldn't.
Yeah. Do you know, since I came on your platform and I spoke about what Michael done, I heard through the grapevine that it was a all load of bull, that he's going to get some legal advice. And I said, oh, that's what he needs to do. Do you know what I mean? But obviously that was a bluff for people to like think that, you know, I was lying, or they
haven't got a leg to stand on.
No, he hasn't got a leg to stand on. He damn well knows that he done it. And I think for me, even though I know like I've got everybody with me, but a little bit of me feels like I'm sort of, because nobody else hasn't come forward, like in regards to him, like I still feel like, I know I'm not on my own, but it still feels like I'm segregated a little bit.
I understand what you're saying, but you know what? Sometimes it takes a little bit of time for people to find the courage that you've got, sis. You know, you were driven, like you said, by listening to LB, listening to Donna, listening to people like that. And people will be inspired by listening to you.
But you know I mean, it doesn't matter if nobody does come forward. Like I would like to think I'm strong. Yeah, I've got my truth, and I've been shouting it for the last 40 odd years, and lots of people know, because like I've been doing this one woman show on my own for a long time, you know, went up against my family, went up against everybody. But like I said, that everybody knows it was true, but nobody was prepared to do anything about it, you know. So yeah, that's it really. I just wanted to big you up.
I think you're an absolute star, Melrose. You know, you're definitely one of the stars of this campaign. You were one of the few women in the beginning stages that spoke out, you know, and I know how difficult that was for you at that time as well. You know, so you just, as well as you're inspired, you need to really understand your own power and give yourself a pat on the back as well, sis.
Do you know what it was? Is like, I know so many people, but I never ever told anybody. Like, only my family knew, and like a few close friends or whatever. But the amount of phone calls I had after to sort of say, was that your voice that I just heard? Like, you never even told me about this. Like, when did this happen? And like, so, but since then I've been seeing the therapist once a week.
Oh, fantastic.
So, yeah.
On your healing journey, sis.
What? Yeah. Going gym 4 times a week now. Yeah.
Excellent.
So
you see,
yeah, I'm up
that's
there.
what unburdening does, you know. I just remember like the early days of speaking to you and stuff, and that is nowhere to be seen. That demeanor that you had, that spirit that you was carrying, I can't even see it now. Like, look at you. Oh, you're beautiful, sis, man.
Oh, beautiful. Thanks. Beautiful. Yeah, but sorry to everybody who felt a little bit offended that I hid my face.
No. They weren't offended. They were more encouraging you to unmask, but they didn't get it at the time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because it's not. Do you know, like, it was because of cameras and things like that, and certain people was there that I didn't want them to see me. You know what I'm talking about. So like, yeah, you know, so it wasn't nothing to do with, I thought I was it or anything like that. It was just for safety for myself, and like I told you anyway. So
yeah, definitely, sis. And you're here now with your covering
that's
off.
it. Yeah, and I'm
Exactly.
surprised. I'm sitting in my house. Do you know what I mean? Like, why am I gonna? Like, I've got nothing to hide. I've got nothing. I don't care. Do you know what I mean? Michael knows who I am. I don't care. Like, my mouth's big and it will never stop running.
Good for
Do you know
you.
what I mean? He's a rapist and a paedophile, and
yes, he
until
is.
He will never. He must really hate me, because you know what? I've been digging this man's side for years.
And
Do you know
you've
what I mean?
prevailed. You know, we believe, lots of people believe you, and nobody believes him for a change.
Yeah,
so
people should believe me, because you know what? To tell a lie is a damn wicked thing, to come on these platforms and
Look,
to lie about men.
Nobody comes on this platform and shames themselves and faces all the backlash and everything else to tell a lie on a bloke. Like, it just doesn't work that way. It really
No,
doesn't.
absolutely not. No, you've got to be sick in your head to do that, really. Like, you've got to be some kind of animal to go on there and do that, haven't you?
As I say, women that do that to men, and men are innocent, I put them on par again with the perpetrators. I really do. They're the same. No different.
No, and you're correct, because you know, you just can't do. I wouldn't like someone come to say about myself, I know that I haven't done it. Do you get what I mean? And then somebody's gone on a platform and told everybody.
You know, that anyone that's ever been accused of rape and they're innocent. But I'm pretty sure and solid that the women that we've spoken to on this platform, including yourself and other people, you know, those that have exposed themselves and those that haven't, many that haven't, I'm very convinced that everything that you guys told me is absolutely 100% true.
Yeah, and you know, like as I said at the beginning, is that I know a lot of these guys did things when they was younger, so like they might be different people now, but they still did it. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah. Unfortunately, there's too many of them that aren't different people now, because you know, with some of the individuals, the call outs, if you like, span years. Do you understand what I'm saying? So a man might say, well, I was 13 then. Yeah, but you were 45 when the next victim told us you did what you did. So it's too many of them haven't changed. That's the issue.
But
and on Friday, we're going to talk about a very prominent Brixton character who is guilty of rape just 3 weeks ago. So that's who we're going to be talking about on Friday. Everybody knows this name. Everybody knows this guy's name in Brixton. Even in other parts of Brixton back in the day, this guy was definitely what they would call a name brand. And, you know, this one's not even up for question because he's been arrested and bailed as usual. People shouldn't be allowed back on the streets.
No, they shouldn't.
Anyone talking about evidence?
It's deep, isn't it?
Don't bother with it. This was just 3 weeks ago.
It's very deep.
That we need. So that's what we'll be talking about on Friday, sis. He's one of the people we'll be talking about on Friday.
Okay. 9 o'clock?
9 o'clock Friday, YouTube 100. But thank you, sis. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay, you're welcome. Have a good evening.
The warrioress that you are effervescent. You're effervescent. I can see and feel your shine, sis. All right. Bless you.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. Yeah.
All right.
Wakanda. Yeah. Thank you. Love you.
Love you. Love you, sis. Yeah. Oh, there's just so much positive feedback tonight, my brothers and sisters. So much positive feedback. And we will continue to do it. We will continue to keep raising the stakes and keep raising the attention of those who don't want to hear. We'll keep doing that. We're not going anywhere with that. Fridays will remain as a community conversation. And there will be regular updates as to what's happening on the back of this march and the progress that we're going to be making on the back of this march. And we'll do that as a community, as I said on Saturday. We'll do that as a community. Please, please, please keep supporting. Keep on having the conversation with each other, within your families, and keep on making a way, because what happened on Saturday was historical. It's never happened, and certainly not in the history of the reign of terror, that individual had on the community. And it sends a deep message, actually, to all the others. As I said, Eamon Edwards, Victor Lindsay, Cleveland Hyatt, all these nasty people, Tony Buttons, all of them. You know, we just heard about this Michael one as well. All of them. It sends a very, very clear message that your time is up, and that the women of not only Brixton, but the women of the UK are not going to stand for it anymore. They're not going to stand and allow predators to come and scare people in the way that we saw that individual try to on Saturday. And those women saw him off. Even if no police was there, I'm pretty certain that his sisters would have torn him limb from limb, en masse. And that, for me, you know, was the highlight of the march. It was the highlight of the march, and it was the highlight of the campaign, because look how far we've come. When I think back to some of the voice notes that were put out there on the back of the video, you know, and people saying, oh my God, I can't believe that she said his name and things like that. And then what took place on Saturday, which I'm going to upload some videos of it for those that missed it, who weren't there. It was truly a monumental moment. And as I said, it sends a message. Your time is up. Your time is up of raping women in our community and expecting them to be silent. You know, I'm sure that those with predatory ways will always have predatory ways. But the difference is that we're not going to hold their secrets anymore. We're really, really not. So, yeah, come back Friday, my brothers and sisters. We're going to go back to our community conversations. I am so very proud of every single person that showed up. So very proud of you. I really, really am. And, you know, it was worth coming back into the cold and COVID and all the rest of it that I left for. Absolutely 100% would do it a million times over. And as I said, I will be here for a little time so that we can interface some more and, you know, just lock it down within our community, my brothers and sisters. But yeah, big up yourselves. I think everybody who turned out, everybody who supported on the live, who couldn't be there, was there in spirit. And you should all give yourself a really big, really big pat on the back. But yeah, blessed love, my brothers and sisters. I'm going to ring off. I still haven't had the rest that I wanted on the back of it. You know, there's so much to do. I'm going to try and take that time and, yeah, just have a little bit of rest for a couple of days or something if I possibly can. Because, you know, the threat is still there. We're not taking anything lightly in regard to that. So it's not kind of blasé, you know, I'm back and that's it. These people are very sneaky and cunning and manipulative. And we're very aware of that. So we've got lots of precautions. If you notice, my background is white, and it's been white for months since I was in Africa, in anticipation of when I landed, there would be no change in the background, you know? So, you know, in Dar, we had a white wall. And when I landed, we still had a white wall. So nobody would actually see it. I thought that was very clever. So, yeah, I will continue to sort of, you know, not be in obvious places for those, especially for those that know where I might be when I was around in the UK. But I will continue to not be in obvious places and continue to do the work in the most effective way remotely. So yeah, my brothers and sisters, love you, love you, love you, love you, love you. I'll see you back here on Friday at 9 p.m. for our usual format of community conversations. Blessed love, my brothers and sisters. Love you lots. Take it easy. Bless up.